Welcome to Chi-Town Cigar Podcast, the podcast where three Chicago guys light up a fine cigar and get into everything from sports and current events to hobbies, life's little moments, and everything in between. Whether you're here for the cigars, the conversation, or just some good laughs, we got you covered. So grab your favorite smoke, settle in, and join us for laid-back chats with a Chicago twist. Now it's time to put some smoke in the air.
Good evening, everybody. What's going on, boys? We're back. Another episode. I'm live from the Aganorsa Studios in Central Illinois. Got Marty and Teddy with me. What's going on, gentlemen?
We are back. We are back here from Villa Park headquarters.
Villa Park headquarters. There we go.
Chi-Town Cigar Podcast is on the air. I need to get a sponsor.
Right. We already got people joining us.
I need to get a sponsor for
go.
my studio too.
Yeah.
How do you do that, Mike?
Fireborn. Yeah. You just got to talk to the right people. And I got a connection. So, good evening, Fireborn. Good to see you, buddy. TX Rebel. Hello. Evening.
Welcome,
Glad
guys.
are
Welcome.
here.
Yeah. Glad to have you with us.
So as we get this night going, what's everybody smoking?
I'm smoking the pork tenderloin, the new one from Tatuaje.
Oh, nice.
Did you guys get any of this?
I got a pack.
Oh, nice.
I did
Okay.
not. It was too rich for my blood. I am
It was
smoking.
It was 25 in the bundle, so it wasn't bad. A bad deal. I thought it would be 20, but
It's still. I'm trying to back off my bundle buys.
I've seen that. You be doing a lot of 5-packs, a lot of 2s. You be doing. I see that. I like that.
Yes, I am. TX is smoking the AJ 20th. I am smoking. I'm close, TX. I'm close. I am doing the JFR 20th. I've been waiting for this bad dog. So, and it's not so disappointing. I just fired it up. So, Marty, what do you got?
I have the new Rojas Street Tacos Al Pastor
Taco Tuesday.
Whoa.
for Taco Tuesday. Yep. Just
Yeah,
this
very
up.
nice. That's very nice. Awesome.
Guys,
awesome.
what about this weather, huh? 90 degrees right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. And the weekend's supposed to be hot. 94, 95. So, hello, summer. We blew right through spring and hello, summer. Because the kickoff of summer is June 20th, right? June 20th is the kickoff. Yeah,
21st, right? 21st. Right? Isn't it 21st? Yeah, 21st.
Mm-hmm.
That's the longest day of the year. They all get shorter from there.
That's right. I used to do a race. I used to do a 5K. It was called a short race on a long day. So it was always fun to do that. But
I wish we could just stop that time savings and just stick with 1 hour or the same hour that we have. Don't go back or forward. I just hope that changes.
Tried. It's not working out. They've tried. So I think Trump said maybe he's going to try it again next year. We'll see what happens. So I didn't know. And okay, here's my ignorance, Texas. I didn't realize AJ came out with it. Did I realize AJ came out with the 20th?
Yeah, I smoked it like.
Did I know that, Teddy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I smoked it 4 episodes ago? I think.
Yeah, I imagine you did. It's a little on the higher side for AJ, but it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good, but the price, $30, $28.
If you can get them on sale, go for it.
Yeah, if you get them on sale, definitely worth it. It's just something different. And it's supposed to be. I don't think so. It was supposed to be one of his best blends ever. That's what I read online. I think I like other ones that he has. Bella Artis is great. The New World is awesome.
I thought it was a little different than a lot of his other stuff. It was more chocolatey, less. I don't remember there being a lot of spice in it.
No, it wasn't spicy. Yeah, it was really woody, chocolatey. I didn't get chocolate notes much. Yes, Arizona does not change times. So lucky. That is awesome right there.
Don't feed into his saltiness.
They don't change times, but all the states around them change times. So is it still hard to keep up with, like, I guess if you're just dealing with people in your own state, but if you have to like work with cross state lines, that would like mess you up. I remember when Indiana used to be that way too. And I could never remember what time it was in Indiana for like a month. Every time.
Yep.
It has 2 time zones, right? Yeah. Indiana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's mostly in the eastern, the little chunk that's no, is it maybe Indiana, like the whole thing is in central? I don't remember.
No. There's two time zones in Indiana at a certain point. I think more south obviously is eastern, but it's central and northern east of Indiana thing.
Yeah.
So,
Most of it is east, yeah.
gentlemen, how was your Father's Day? Happy post Father's Day to you guys. You guys had a good day?
Yeah, it was good. I relaxed. I had nothing else going on, so I relaxed. I got some nice wooden bourbon
Ooh.
glasses. Yeah, the wife picked this up. Supposedly, whatever she ordered that was custom made is not here yet. So she said it's going to go in the studio. So we'll have to see. So I've been forbidden. I was going to paint this weekend. I've been forbidden to paint. So I hung up some drapery to get rid of the wooden look. But she's like, do not do anything. I'm like, okay, fine. So, but yeah, so that was it. But what about you, Marty? You went to the Cubs game and blew it. You blew it. You missed a win.
Well, the Cubs won, and I got to spend the day with my son.
But you lost.
But I lost cigars. But I think I got the better end of the deal there.
You absolutely, yes, I'm sure you absolutely got the better end of the deal. But for those of you that don't know, the first lady, Bob the Cigar Guy, who was a phenomenal guest. We'll talk about more of him next later. Phenomenal guest last week. But they do a podcast every. She does a podcast once a month on Saturdays, the second Saturday of the month. And at the end of the podcast, if you've contributed at all during the podcast, they put your name into the wheel of random names, and whoever wins gets whatever they're giving away for the week. So they did the first one, and that person didn't answer. The next one that comes up is Chi-Town Cigar Podcast, which was Marty. And we all knew, everybody on the podcast knew he'd already left for the Cubs game. So it was a quick win and a quick loss. So, but yeah, I'm like, and it was an Aganorsa package giveaway. So you know how that felt right there. So
that would have
I'm
been
like,
good.
oh man, it would have been phenomenal. So, yeah. So,
but the Cubs won. And then Sunday I stayed home and just laid around, and my daughter gave me a whiskey smoking kit, it's a glass,
yes.
with like little wood chips, and you put them in there and start it on fire.
And you kept it up on top of it, right?
Smoked cocktails. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
I have one too. And the tough thing is to remember to do it. It's great in the wintertime when you're sitting in the house, and I mean you've got the lounge right there, but I don't have too much stuff in the studio, although I am adding more and more. So we'll see what happens. We'll see as time goes on. So, but no, great show last week. Wow. I think it took me an hour to fall asleep after the show. I went in the house and sat there and had another glass of whiskey. Then just thought about, he's just a great guy. I mean, and just a phenomenal interview. Even afterwards, giving us some advice and some guidance. So, we look forward to having him on. I'm going to try to make contact with Chief. I've got an idea for a show with him. So yeah, you guys can bear with us this week, and we'll see about next week a guest coming on again, and we'll start seeing as that went so well. We'll be able to bring on some more guests. I think as I found out on Thursday, I think it was his internet that was giving him the problem. It wasn't so much us; it was his internet that was causing some of the glitches in his stream and in his audio.
Oh, I thought it was his audio that had problems, so the internet caused the audio. Okay, it happens.
I think,
you know.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was a
So-
great interview, and I really enjoyed talking with Bob, and very, very nice guy.
Down to earth, and just willing to share, willing to speak into our lives and give us some of his knowledge and wisdom for podcasting. We're doing this. We're doing our best at this. So, and I know Chief mentioned on Thursday night he wanted to watch, but fatherly duties kept him away. So, hopefully, we'll see things continue to grow and continue to expand. But yeah, so
Mike, I saw you jumped on Sunday morning and did a little Father's Day note.
I did. I like that. I like that ability. I just got to tweak. We don't need the countdown. We don't need the intro. But yeah, if I would have known that was going to happen, I would have spoke even longer. I thought I was just going to do a quick little 1 minute Happy Father's Day to everybody and keep them coming in. But yeah, it's
No,
once you get comfortable with some of this stuff.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
not see that. So you recorded yourself on Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday morning, I was up. I was up at 5 a.m. I was up at 5 a.m. to get the smoker going. We put a brisket on, or I put a brisket on. And so I went in the house, showered, came back out to sort of make sure everything was going. I had a cigar and a cup of coffee, and I thought, what the heck? Let's say good morning to everybody, to all of our loyal fans and listeners, Fireborn and Texas Rebel. We wanted to say hello to those guys and everybody else. So I jumped on and wished everybody a happy Father's Day and thought it would be nice. And I started and it starts doing the countdown. I'm like, oh shoot. So I'm like, all right, I'm going live. There ain't no big deal. So I'm going live.
There's no
No.
back. There's no going back now.
Mm-mm.
That's beautiful. I gotta see it.
No.
How long did you do it?
I think it was about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. The dogs are chiming in their 2 cents. But yeah, I think it was like a minute and a half.
Just saying hello.
Yeah.
So what are we doing for today's episode?
Teddy, I
Well,
thought you
as I
your idea.
Yeah.
God, it falls on me today, huh? Had to be the young
there's
one.
some well planning. There's some after Bob's show last week, we go right off the cliff. We're right down. It's over.
That's the meme where we're each pointing at each other.
the Spider-Man meme, yes.
Spider-Man meme.
We're like, I was
Yes.
gonna start.
Yeah. No, I mean there's not a lot of cigar news. Obviously, the tariffs continue to be conversation. I saw an article on Half Wheel, which is I think what we've already talked about. So Half Wheel's catching up to us, if that makes you guys feel good, that the tariffs aren't going to go away. The increase for tariffs are not. If all of a sudden this all gets strike down and they say no, you can't have tariffs, there's not a single retailer that's going to go, okay, we're going to rescind our increases. They're going to let them ride. I think Bob and Chief even mentioned this on their podcast. You're going to see it ride until in 26, you're going to see companies go, we're not doing an increase. And if they do an increase, it might not be as high as what they've done in the past. It might be a 2 or 3 cent increase as opposed to what they normally do, like 5 cents or something like that. 5 or 6 cents, I think, or
I think it was 5%, if I'm not wrong. for
was
the
it
tariffs.
5%?
I think so, yes. Because when I read the email, it was sent out to all the lounges, and I read the email from General, from SDG, it was a 5% applying to all the orders that you guys order. That's
Okay.
what it said for us. I think the biggest problem here is not so much of the tariffs, is the individual taxes per state. And talking about Illinois here, that we're raising up on July 1st. That's what scares me the most right now, because we got the companies raise the prices, we got the tariffs that I don't think it does make a huge difference. But the problem is we're going from 36% to 45% here in Illinois, and I do not like it. Like, already people are upset at the lounge, so I just want to see how's it's gonna be. It's interesting that we have basically here in Illinois kind of 3 raises, and not just the tariffs.
Yeah.
Because like Florida, for example, doesn't care about taxes. It's 0 taxes, for example, in Florida. I don't know how's I know we have some viewers right now. I don't know how is the Arizona tax in Arizona with tobacco. And on top of that, you got the sales tax. The sales tax obviously is the same, but yeah, the tobacco tax going up. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's Illinois is its own worst enemy, and but I think so is California, so
New York too. Yep.
Yeah. But we just got to sort of gotta handle it and just go through it and realize, okay, that we're gonna make it through. I think it's gonna impact a lot of lounges. I think that's what you're gonna see, but other than that, I think it's just gonna be here's what you do. Here's what you do.
Fireborn is asking, what's the latest news about the factory fire? Was it last month?
It was March. And there's really no update. I was looking, and there's no real update. I mean, they set up the temporary rolling area, and I'm sure they're making as quick a headway as they possibly can.
Raphael posted something on Instagram where they showed their new rolling area, their new production area. So if you want to see it, I don't know where that is, if it's another part of the building they already have, but it sounds like they're back up in production. I don't know if I'm sure it's probably reduced their throughput a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Foundation and Southern Draw, I'm not knocking them. I know they're going through their own struggles, but they're saying they confirmed tens of millions of dollars of lost cigars and packaging. So, that just adds to the struggles they're already having. And Foundation, has warned everybody about shortages and delays. I feel bad for Southern Draw. I think this is another kick for them. I'm hoping that they can bounce back or something can change with them. But, it's one of those things that it's not their fault. They had nothing to do with it. So
right.
I'm sure AJ will help them as best they can, as well as other brands will jump in and do what they can to help.
I feel bad also for LFD, La Flor Dominicana. I call it the director company, and everything is a back order. I don't remember the exact number, but they're very, very behind on products. And they said is the tobacco, that the tobacco needs to be fermented longer, I think. But I even tried to get LFD from warehouses, and all the warehouses are out of LFD too. So it's kind of disappointing with that.
Well, and I guess that sort of leads me into the question I sort of was wanting to throw out to you guys. And have we gone through the golden age of cigars? Did we just come through the prime time for cigars with the boom, the COVID boom and everything like that? Are we starting to feel, yes, there's backlogs, there's delays, there's fires. That all isn't so much a part of the golden age, but are we starting to see that consumers are not buying as much as they did before? I think, we reported a couple episodes ago that imports were down in the first 2 months. They were down significantly in the first 2 months. like 9%, I think is what we overall said. So what do you guys think? Do you think we're for cigar nerds? I think when we come out of the golden age of cigars, I think we all get excited because we see cigar prices sort of level off a little bit because the demand's not so high. So brands are not making as many and they're trying to move what they have. So it's okay. Hey, we can't really raise prices because people aren't buying as much as they were before. So I guess that's the question I'm throwing out at you guys.
I would say, I mean, if you just look at the
Sammy Flo, hello, my brother.
Sammy. Good
Sammy,
evening.
hello.
I would say if you just look at the number of new cigars, you know, those few weeks before PCA, like we had such a long list of new cigars that they were releasing every week.
Mm-hmm.
We could have done like a whole show. Yeah. We could have done like 3 shows on all the new cigars. So I don't think if imports are going down, I don't think it's stopped them from making new cigars yet. Maybe it could in the future.
And this is and Texas is right. You know, the average smoker is cutting back because of prices. And I think this is it. This is the prime time. Everything that I saw for those releases was happening in May, June, and July. There's some a little bit later. Obviously, this is the prime time for cigar releases because of summertime, and this is when people get outside and are smoking a lot more. The golf courses, Marty left us. The golf courses are, packed and guys are out there smoking cigars. But golf courses really aren't the place for cigar nerds. I hate to say it like that. It's not a bad thing. It's the lounges, it's the backyards, it's the herfs, it's the fest. But I think that we're going to see some severe cutbacks. I can tell you right now, my industry in fuel, the gas prices, the purchase pricing for gas went up 16 cents on Monday. So from Friday to Monday, there was a 16 cent jump. Today, there was another 5 cent jump. So it's 21 cents between Friday and today.
And you talk about gas.
You guys are all going to feel it.
Just throughout the United States or just Illinois?
Illinois for right now. I mean, I'm sure, it's not just Illinois, but I mean, it's, everybody's going to feel it. So, regardless of your political stance, we're in a point that, you're going to get a lot of people going, I got to pay for gas. I got to pay for eggs. I got to pay for bread. I can't pay for a cigar right now.
I really like what Fireborn says. Maybe a glut of cigars with yes.
Yeah.
Like it's not also improving our existing lines. He's absolutely right. And talk about improvement on existing lines like Crown Heads and did it whole. They fixed everything with the labels and stuff like that. I think, and me working in a brick and mortar and cigar lounge, I feel like the companies have to switch a little bit. Also, more like McKelliff does a great job with that, supporting brick and mortars.
Yep.
Maybe, yes, there's a lot of deals online. There's absolutely no taxes and on some of the sites, but I think we need to focus, and the companies need to focus more into brick and mortars and try to bring more products in. And there's been a lot of companies that are trying to put, the cigars into the lounge, but and I'm talking about the bigger companies.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree with Texas Rebel, and I mean, it's there's too many limited editions. It's everybody wants a limited edition. I just smoked and reviewed for our website, which hopefully will be going up this week. I actually smoked it last week. Was the Guy Fieri 57. Great cigar, enjoyed it, but it's a limited edition. You can't get them anymore. And it's like going, okay, those are nice, but everybody's putting out a limited edition. Everybody is, quick, let's put this one out. Let's put this one out. And I think what you're going to see is people pulling down and going, you know what? I'm not going to buy that cigar. A limited edition I don't need. I don't need a limited edition. I want the regular. I want the regular line, and so speak of the devil. Hello, BTCG. How you doing, my brother?
There he is.
There he is.
It's very weird. It's very weird to be on this side saying hello to him versus his side saying hello to us. So, but I agree with Texas. I think the cigar market and the cigar industry has to recalibrate itself to go, we're not going to keep putting out limited editions. We're going to focus on our core lines and maybe add a different Vitola, maybe pull some stuff back. But I think if the market, if the economy keeps going in the direction that it's going, you're not going to see people buying that $30 cigar. Oh, there we go. I just lost the light. But yeah, so I mean, I think that's going to be the issue that we have, and it's something that's got to be looked at.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies that got to refocus on reinventing, like we said, different Vitolas, maybe change the bands. Maybe because when you get to a point, and I don't know if you agree, Marty, is like if it's too many limited edition cigars, is like, okay. And another thing I've noticed is like people focusing a lot on the limited edition, and then till that limited edition runs out, then people go back to the core line. It needs to be like, and I agree, it should be less limited edition. It should be just more to the core line, like Mike said.
Yeah.
And yes,
and
yes, a bunch of anniversaries also coming out at the same time. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
we're trying to line up cigars for reviews, and there's a bunch of them that are all coming out right at the exact same time. So we have a backlog of reviews.
And I think BTCG said that he's got stuff lined up. He said last week he's got stuff lined up to like the middle of the month or early July that he's already done and sitting and waiting to be released. So if you're talking about 30 reviews in a month, that's a lot of cigars. It's a lot of cigars that you're trying to keep track of. And if we're doing that as cigar media, the average person is going, I'm not buying. I can't keep up with all of the new releases, and if they're limited, they're going to go, okay, I'm going to pass that through, which again, for cigar nerds and everybody, okay, great. That leaves more limited releases for everybody else. But at the same point, what are you releasing them for? I don't understand. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't understand. I understand a limited release, but if you're doing a release of 500, your average cigar smoker is not going to get it. So,
yeah, you just have to focus.
I'm doing the 20th anniversary Fireborn.
The brands that you really want to try, I guess. There's a lot you won't be able to try.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's absolutely it. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this market affects some cigar brands. We always see towards the end of Q3 and the start of Q4, they start pulling SKUs. Hey, we're not going to have this many SKUs on there because they're starting to realize, here's what I've got, for the next year. So I think I'm going to have to pull these SKUs because I either need that tobacco for the new stuff or it's just not selling, and I think we see that a lot. Drew Estates will do it. They'll pull stuff that's not selling. Steve Saka said he was pulling stuff, so it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out as time marches on and what we see with the brands.
He has the Acid 20.
I saw Bob just did a review of the Acid 20 on his channel.
So after we did the episode with Bob, I smoked the new Dominicana by Fat Bad and Batty, and it was something different for me. Very, very, very sweet notes. It was very good pipe tobacco in there, but yeah, it was different for me.
Yeah, that one's got a lot of sweetness on the tip.
Yes,
A little-
like all the way towards the end, he stopped being that sweet, but it was a powerful cigar for the. It kind of reminded me of the. It was not that strong. I actually was more strong. The aromatic number one, from Steve Saka from the Stillwell collection, and I know you smoke Marty before the Stillwell collection, correct?
Yeah.
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 I just got an email. I got an email for pre-ordering for November things coming out, or
For
yeah,
the
November.
2025 version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get it for the shop. So those are good cigars. It wasn't for me, the Dominicana, the Drew Estate one. The burn was great. The construction was great. It burned very good. I didn't have to retouch it or anything like that. It was a really straight burn. But was it for me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Mike's having some kind of
We lost Mike.
internet issues or something, because they're having storms go through, so that may have been his problem. But I think Texas Rebels' point here, I kind of agree with this too. The Cuban prices have gone up, and they see people are still buying Cubans. Maybe they feel like there's some lost money that they could be getting for releasing $30, $40, $50 cigars, because there was a lot of cigars. A lot of those limited releases were over $25 this year.
Yes, there were, and comparing it to Cubans, it's very interesting. If that happens, then we got an issue here. If they're trying to compare with Cubans, because it's not the same for me.
Yeah. There's Bob says sometimes the limited releases are just because they get a scarce ability to buy a scarce bundle of cigar tobacco that they can't get every year, but they really like that one and they want to release something with that. So that's also a consideration. I know Dunbarton does a lot of limited releases. Like they do one for the Great Smoke every year.
I think so far this year was 3 of them, right, Marty?
Dunbarton?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the year of the Duque, and
there was another one with one more side from the East Coast, I believe, too. I forgot the name.
Fiddlehead.
Fiddlehead. Yep, Fiddlehead.
Yeah, he does a lot of limiteds.
So I'm excited. For us, the cigar nerds, it's a good thing. Yes, limited edition, but for the everyday consumer that it's just stuck in one cigar, I don't see that person getting the limited edition. Like I have example, like a guy at the lounge, he'll smoke AJ Fernandez every single day. He'll come and get the new Cameron, the New World, but I offer him the 20th anniversary. He says out of the budget line. So you do have a lot of people that don't want to try the limited edition because it's a little bit more expensive, and then they're just stuck with what they like with a regular core line, and that's fine, because it is literally a cigar for everybody, like we talked about it before. Mike is back.
Sorry, guys. There was a crack of lightning, and the dogs went nuts, and the internet went down. So, hopefully in a couple of weeks when I get the fiber optic, the studio will be all wired directly, and everything will be amazing. So
glad it came back.
Yeah. So.
Yes, Bob. Dominicana is sweet. Yeah.
Sweet. And then Fireborn asked if it's the same blend as the Freestyle kit, and yeah, I think it is. That was the pre-release of that.
Yeah,
it is.
I like it. I like the Dominicana. I
really?
I know. Yeah, I do. It's the sweet tip is a sweet tip, but I didn't see any of the comments, but yeah, you can do it. You can do it safari style, quote unquote, BTCG gets 2 cents for every time somebody smokes something Safari style. So we encourage everybody to continue to smoke Safari style. But yeah, I enjoyed that cigar. I haven't bought more. I had a couple Freestyle Life packs, but yeah, those are definitely in my wheelhouse. So.
Yeah, I said it's not for me, but it sold out fast. It sold out fast, so I have to order more. But people like it. If people like those sweet cigars, it's something you're going to like then.
And if I remember correctly, I thought I heard it on Chief Talks. It's a graduation cigar, not what we were talking about before graduating, but you go from the acid line to the Dominicana, and then graduate to. So it's got the sweet tip, but it's not an infused cigar. So it's a graduation from, okay, I've enjoyed the infused. Now I want to move from the infused to the next. And so instead of having to jump to something in the Drew Estates, you don't want to jump to a Liga. If you've been doing infused and you jump to a Liga, you're going to have a shock to your system. But you could jump Dominicana.
You could jump a Pappy's. Pappy's is really good. I love that cigar.
Yeah.
Nice fermented cigar.
Pappy Van Winkle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's got that Kentucky Fire Cured in it.
It has great flavors on a cigar.
Fireborn's my go-to dictionary when I need help, or my go-to encyclopedia, or Google. I guess now it's called. It's my go-to Google. It used to be dictionaries, encyclopedias. Now it's did you Google it? So yeah. But that's back to before I blanked out on you guys and left. But I'd like to see Drew Estates thinking about that and going, okay, we're going to develop something to progress people along, not just come out with, we're going to come out with this other cigar just because we want to. It's, hey, we know we have people stuck in this area and we have people in this area. How do we get the people from point A to point C? Well, you got to give them a point B. You got to give them something to move them along, and that's the big thing with this industry.
Maybe they're worried about the flavored cigars getting banned.
That's a good point too. But infused. They're not flavored. They're infused.
Infused.
I heard that many times. I hope it doesn't happen. But till then, hey, keep smoking them.
Yeah.
I don't think so. We'll get to that point.
I told you I'm not an intelligent person, Fireborn.
That was one of the things in the news today. They were talking about they submitted a new definition for flavored cigars.
Really?
I'm going to try and find that piece of news. Yeah, they were talking about of course, now I can't find it. I thought I had a tab up with that, but they're providing, the different industry people are providing potential definitions of what a premium cigar is. And one of them, the latest one they submitted, includes infused cigars as part of that. Some of them don't.
Huh. Interesting.
It's going to be an interesting battle. It's going to be an interesting battle with it, changing the term and adding infused into it, because infused is not a flavor, and you're not getting a cherry taste or so.
Yeah, here it is. CAA introduced a definition that would allow for some flavored cigars to be included. They use the word flavor, Mike.
Yeah. Well, that's what they want. That's their whole battle, is flavored attracts the kids. At this point, kids aren't going to be able to afford infused cigars or cigars, period. So that's going to work. That's going to work in favor of the cigar industry, is going, you're not getting a kid that's going to walk up and go, I got a 20 spot. Can I get one of those cigars? So that's going to be interesting.
I hope it's not in the future just for the elite people who smoke cigars.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as long as you're hitting on news, I'll do mention. I thought it was interesting that George Rico was appointed to the PCA board. He's the president of Gran Habano. And I've smoked quite a few Grand Habanas. I really enjoy them. But he replaced Max Bichler. I don't even. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sure I didn't. Who he stepped down June 13th. He stepped down as the national manager for Rocky Patel, and then turned around and left the PCA. So George steps in to replace him, which I think is a good move for him. He actually ran for the board, so I think it's interesting. Max didn't give a reason why he's stepping down, but it's always interesting to see the progression. PCA, I think, has got a lot of scrutiny. The more I hear people talking about the board and what they should be doing and what they're not doing, it's always interesting. So
we'll see what he does.
Yeah. Fireborn, you're absolutely right. I think the vapes, I'm still amazed at the people that I see smoking or I don't know, do you smoke a vape? I don't know. I don't know what do they consider it? But
you vape a vape.
It's really surprising with this vape.
Good night,
See you, Bob.
PTCG.
Thank you for joining. Yeah, it's my kids, the younger kids than me and my generation, and even I've seen 40 and even 50-year-old people, they smoking, the vaping, I would say, and it's very addicting. Like, I don't know if you guys have anybody that because I have many people, and it's just like you can do it everywhere. And it's very addicting. It's probably the most addicting thing out there right now, and it's worse than cigarettes. I think the government needs to put some restrictions on it. I think, my opinion.
They have, but I can tell you, it was a big thing. It was a big thing with my son. It was a big thing with the Sailors. When we went to visit him, a couple years ago, it was amazing. They had a smoking section, and there weren't guys there smoking cigarettes or cigars. They were all vaping.
Oh, wow.
So they were all vaping. So you had 15, 20 guys all standing there vaping. So
it is different. It's just so much. Yeah, in offices, exactly. The people, offices, schools, at your house, at your job, even at the bars. Even at the, say somebody plays slots at the lounge, it's just the same thing. They'll hit the vape, and it's just like everywhere, and it's so addicting.
I would have like a lack of trust of what people are putting in those.
Like I've seen videos online from China how they're tasting the vapes. And there's a guy that has a whole case, and it just keeps trying all of them, and then they pack it and ship it to United States. It's just. Wes Farmon says the ex-wife is a respiratory therapist, and her research on vapes scared the crap out of her son who vaped. They inhale the crap. It's chemicals that stay in your lungs. Absolutely, and it causes. I don't know if I heard that it causes popcorn lungs, and
I'm sure.
I think I stopped. I used to vape for like a year, right when I got into cigars too. I don't know why. It was just a dumb decision. I stopped it 3 years ago, but I wasn't feeling good. My chest was hurting. My throat was hurting. I had my heart was beating fast. I said no. You don't even know what's in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it. It's the same thing kind of with cigarettes. I said that before. You know what you're smoking. You can look up in your cigar where you're smoking, the blend, the wrapper, the binder. You can see where it came from. You don't know what's inside the cigarettes, and now we don't know what's inside the vapes. It's just it's crazy to me.
Yeah, but they're easy to get. It's all easy to get.
It's
all easy to get. It's easy, it's easy to walk into a vape shop and pick up the margarita flavored vape juice, and you got the little unit, and you're walking out. You're $50 into it, and you're like, okay, hey, and those juice bottles, the vape juice, I think that stuff will last. I mean, it probably lasts a week or two. So depending upon how much you're putting into it.
And nowadays they recharge. Some of them are rechargeable, so you can kind of like last about almost 3 weeks. Not even a week. Good for you.
Fireborn, I hope the fun size one is not watching this show. I think I'm safe, but yeah. It's but I think that's where the emphasis should be put on. You want to talk about red dye and all this kind of stuff, but it's like, go after the vape, but at the same point, and I've heard it enough, Dave Garofalo speaks about it enough on Cigar Authority, the cigar industry sort of has to help the vape industry as well, because once they have a successful attack on one industry, it's real easy to carry that over to the next. So, it's a tough battle that we're in, because if you say, okay, go after the vape industry, and they win, and they go, okay, hey, look, we got this flavored juice out. Now it's the next thing of going, well, if flavored juice is bad, now flavored cigars are just as bad. They're using, and so it's this really fine line that you've got to walk to go, we know it's bad for the kids. We know it's bad for adults, but how far do you go to bring that point home? Because they're going to turn around. They're going to bring it right back on the cigar industry and say, hey, if this is bad for them, then this is bad for you guys. So it's a tough. It is
a tough battle. It is a tough battle. And you're right. If they're gonna come out of one thing, they're gonna come after the cigars, and it's.
Yep.
We just have to figure out. I don't know. We need to figure out how we can, because it's not also like, okay, it's the younger people. It just scares me. If you're an adult and you want to vape, that's your distraction. That's what you want to do. But I feel like it's the underage, like the 16-year-olds, the 17-year-olds, and the 18-year-olds that they do that. It's hopefully one day it changes.
All right, we're at like 40. 47 minutes in. Do we want to do sponsors?
Yeah, let's do the sponsors.
Yep.
More news and
let's pay for this podcast. Let's pay for this podcast.
There we go.
Step into luxury at Ultimate Cigar Lounge, where passion meets perfection. Discover a world of premium cigars, hand-selected from the finest tobacco regions. From bold beginners to seasoned aficionados, our curated collection delights every palate. Grab a cigar from our amazing selection, pair it with freshly brewed coffee or fine spirits, and sit back and relax in an atmosphere of elegance and warmth. Ultimate Cigar Lounge, your haven for unforgettable moments. Visit us today and ignite your senses. Ultimate Cigar Lounge, located in Villa Park, Illinois. Open daily.
All right, Teddy, tell us about the BLTC event that you're having at
June 28th, Saturday, 6 to 10. Black Label Training Company will be Ultimate Cigar Lounge with Kelvin Woods, one of the representatives. We're gonna have some special event cigars, and come and join us. It's gonna be fun. June 28th, and we got the Chi-Town Cigar Crew, HERF, and that's what I'm excited also about. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. We're all gonna be there with our Chi-Town Crew Dojo HERF brothers, so come see us.
Absolutely.
And then we're also been
Should we
working
jump into
on
some more news?
Yeah, we've also been working on our website, trying to get reviews up, and Chris has been helping us do that. So let's talk about Chris's business. Here we go.
Looking for the ultimate eyewear experience in Chicagoland? Discover Eyewear Fix, your premier eyewear store for over 28 years. From sunglasses to sports glasses to safety gear, we've got it all at every price point. Bring your prescription, and we'll handle the rest. Our appointment-only office offers a private, concierge-style experience tailored to your busy schedule. Call or text Chris at 630-853-0000. for 167 to book your visit and see why Eyewear Fix surpasses expectations. Eyewear Fix, where style meets precision. Get your fix today.
You know, a good example, if you guys want to get a good example, the glasses I wear now, the Ray-Bans, are from Chris, and they're switching into sunglasses when the sun sees it. So it's got them for a good deal. So if you guys want to stop by, Chris is a great guy when it comes to glasses. Definitely recommend. And talk about Chris. He really liked our last episode. He said that we did a phenomenal job. Everything was clear. The cameras, the sound, everything was beautiful. So, thanks for.
I like the birds in the background. That's nice.
That's what I wanted to. That's what we talked about last time. I really like that. Actually, it kind of relaxes me too. Obviously, sometimes I'm muted if it's an airplane passing by and stuff like that. But yeah, it has. I think I like it better than being in the car. So when the winter comes, I'm already have the plans. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have my little smoking area. I'm gonna have a nice little shed going on, and hopefully my smoking hair cores will be there.
I'm glad I made it back because I want to touch on Texas Rebels question because we talked about this a couple of months ago. Our thoughts on generational tobacco bans. I think they're good for not let me rephrase that. The politicians think they're good for now, and in 10 years, these are all going to get fought and lost because you could say that somebody born in 2025 and beyond can't buy cigars, and in 2045 or 2046, you're going to have a guy that's 21 years old that's going to say, "Who the heck are you to tell me what I can and can't do?" And they're going to take it to court, and they're going to say, "You can't tell me what if I can drink alcohol." I can make my choice and smoke cigars. If my dad or my brother who was born in 2023 can smoke cigars and you tell me I can't, I think it's going to be it's something that'll run its course for the next 10, 15 years. And when guys and girls start getting to that age where they can make that choice, these things are all going to get fought and lost, and the Supreme Court is going to be inundated with these things. And no, they're going to wipe out generational bans. I won't be. Well, maybe I'll be around 20 more years. Hopefully, I'll still be around. But I think you're going to.
Doesn't seem like a workable solution.
No, it's just so crazy to me that you can join the army, 18 years old, go fight a war, go, and you have to be 21 to smoke a cigar. It blows my mind.
Well, it's a great point, but can you picture? So I'm born in 2023, and you're born in 2025, and we're standing there in the military, and I'm lighting up a cigar, and you're standing there going, "Can I get one of those?" Well, so I hand you one and go here, and what? Now I'm going to get in trouble because you're my, come on, it's Fireborn's exactly right. It's another type of prohibition. It's just, I'm telling you, these politicians all got this great idea, and I think they're all going to fall flat on their face, and it's going to just be stuff that courts are going to strike down once they start getting challenged. Going, how do you argue this? How do you argue that a 21-year-old guy or girl can't make a decision whether they want to smoke a cigar or not? It's or smoke a cigarette. Hey, heck, I think the cigars are going to be $25 a pack. But if that's what you want to spend your money on, how can I tell you no? It's ridiculous. So I think it's an absolute battle. I think it's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. We could be doing a whole heck of a lot more. We could be figuring out how badgers reproduce underwater or something like that. Waste your money on something else. So,
all right.
That's a little funny.
In cigar news, here's another way to waste your money. So Cohiba Spectre 2024 costs $150 per cigar. That's the new Cohiba Spectre 2024, which they're releasing in 2025. It's going to be 150 per. I'll probably pass on that.
That's how the previous Spectra was. The case just looks beautiful. I mean, the case, it looks phenomenal. Even the old case, the 2021, it was. I think the other Spectra came out, and it was $150. Either 2021 or 2022.
So that's nothing new then, I guess. But
no, nothing new. It's just like I think the general Cohiba is just coming back to what we said. I think they're trying to compare that price with a Cuban, and it's just like, why are we doing this?
Yeah. Fireborn, we'll talk one of these days about 18-year-olds and automatic weapons, because I can tell you about some 20-year-olds that are in nuclear submarines that scare the crud out of me. So one of the things I was going to mention, I mentioned it before the show, and more and more, I'm not buying boxes, Teddy, but this one is calling to me. West Tampa is releasing the Dark Time.
I saw that.
These are some beautiful cigars. They're boxes. There's 2,500 boxes of 10 cigars. MSRP is $29.99 a box, but it comes with a look-alike Rolex cutter. And I wish I could get it up on the screen, but it looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm more and more tempted. I might be telling my my son that might be one of the cigars I bring to his wedding for people, because if I can just find a way to buy that and get the cutter, I'd be all over it. So. But it looks like a unique. West Tampa's doing a lot of great things. I'm hoping one of these days we can get Sarah Rodriguez on our show and talk to her. Rick is great, but I want to talk to Sarah, who I think is the future of West Tampa, and I think it's it'd be interesting. So,
hello, Joe. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Joe.
And yes, we'll be ghosting the new Cohiba too. Unless somebody gets it for us, right? Unless somebody buys it for us.
Yeah,
I don't think so. We're gonna have a review on that one.
Did you guys see the new? Did you see the new Lost and Found release that's coming up? It actually got released today. It got shipped yesterday, and it's available in stores today. It's the Lost and Found Go F Yourself.
Or
and
give an F.
Give an F. I'm sorry. Give an F. You're right. Give an F. But some of the money that's raised in the selling of these is going to benefit veterinary care. Veterinary care. Good God, I can't speak. So I thought it's pretty cool on Lost and Found to do something like that. Every pack of these cigars helps fund monthly volunteer-led clinics, keeping more families, both 2- and 4-legged, together when they need it the most. So some of the money goes to help fund these public clinics for vets to be able to do, spading, neutering, give some basic rabies shots and that kind of stuff. So I think it's an awesome thing. And my wife is a freaking animal nut job. So I actually picked up a 5-pack to see what they're like. But, if some of the money's going to vet care, I could justify going, hey, I'm helping your cause while I'm helping my own cause. So
very commendable.
We'll
yes.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. I mean,
absolutely.
Espinosa started shipping 3 new cigars: the Chef Special 2025, the Knuckle Sandwich Puro. That's a pure. I figured out how to say puro in
it's puro
in Spanish. You just say poodle.
Puro.
You just say poodle like the dog, and nobody knows. Knuckle Sandwich Poodle.
It's the same thing in Greek, so it's puro.
Yeah,
that's how we say cigars. It's puro.
It sounds like poodle to me, so poodle. And then the Warhead Independence Day. So
poodle? Did you say poodle?
Poodle. Yeah.
I heard some good reviews for the Independence Espinosa for 4th of July. It looks really good.
It's a really nice looking box and band.
They always do. Eric always does a great job with the La Bamba boxes. The La Bamba, was it the 10th? No. what was the last La Bamba? They had the bomb, the golden bomb. That was a really good box, and I have one of them. Well, Eric Espinosa does a great job. Does a great job with the boxes. And then we have another news with Tatuaje, the 7th Corojo Tuxla head to stores. Is going to be a Corona Gorda Vitola, and the price is going to be $950. It says here.
I think
so
it's
that
the 7th Corojo and
Mhm.
the 7th Tuxla.
yeah, is it Tuxla or Tuxla? That was Tuxla.
He says Tuxla.
Tuxla.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the Corojo from Tatuaje. Obviously, it's my favorite brand, and the Tatuaje always kills it. I mean, this cigar, I'll give you one, Mike. Pretty sure you say you have one bundle. Maybe you could get one from Marty Tool. When I see you at Ultimate, Mike, I'll give you one. I if there's any more for purchase, I kind of want to buy one more because it's really good. It reminds me of the Lomo Deserto with they had the green label on it. It's just Tuxla.
The storms must be really, really rolling through for Mike now.
Yeah, Mike's in there. I think he has a storm down there. No, we're supposed it starts raining here. Is it raining in Elgin? Oh, you don't know. You're in the basement.
I'm in the basement.
Yeah.
So I'm safe. Speaking of storms, boy, yesterday, like one of the things I like to do is watch these storm chasers. There was this tornado in Nebraska yesterday.
They're crazy, right? They're crazy.
Beautiful tornado in Nebraska. It was on the ground for 50 minutes, and it went like 2 miles in 50 minutes. And they had all these storm chasers around it, just getting these incredible pictures. Is like definitely the tornado of the year.
Yeah, I give credit to these guys. I don't know the storm chaser guys. They're just insane. They go after that.
Think about this one. It was in the middle of nowhere. I don't think it hit anything.
Oh, wow.
But it was like almost stationary for an hour.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Because last time there was a tornado here was Southern Illinois, I think, right? It's close to Mike's house, I think. There was a tornado.
They've had tornadoes in Southern Illinois. Yeah. A couple of years ago, we had one like half a mile from my house.
Wow.
Yeah. You could see it from my house, but I wasn't home at the time.
Was it by South Elgin? I think, no?
It was, there was one that went to South Elgin and one that went to Western Elgin.
Yeah. Those are scary. Tornadoes are scary.
All right.
Mike, are you back?
I think he's frozen still. He's really having trouble. Joe says he's going to get, or he got some of those because he got the SNS pack. Yeah, they had the Corojos in the SNS pack, the little short ones this year.
I have to get into that. I'll always, past 4 years, I'll be blowing that up. I gotta join. I gotta join the good cause.
So that's all I had for news. I did have a this day in Chicago history. So on this day in Chicago history, 1981, the Tribune Company announced an agreement to purchase the Cubs from the Wrigleys, who owned it for a long time before that. So the purchase price was $20.5 million.
What year was that?
1981. So the Tribune Company owned them from 1981 to 2009. Then they sold them to the Ricketts family. At that point, they sold them for $700 million. And today, they're worth somewhere between $4 and $5 billion.
Wow, money talks, I guess.
Yeah. So I started thinking, like, let's see, what would that have been in return dollars? And so I had AI do some math for me. So the rate of return adjusted for inflation from 1981 to now for the Cubs was 12.23% per year, which is, that doesn't sound like too much, right? You hope to get like, if you're having a good year, you get like 10% from your 401k.
Yeah.
The rate of return for the S&P 500 over that same period was 8.45. That's adjusted for inflation as well. So they beat the Standard Poor's by 3.78%. But if you're wondering what the difference, if you had an investment that did 12.23% per year versus 8.45 or 3.78 per year for 44 years, your investment would be 4.74 times larger, getting 12% per year versus 8% per year. It's kind of crazy.
Huh.
So the Tribune should definitely have sold the newspaper and kept the Cubs. But I think it's probably better for the Cubs that they got sold.
I think so. You know, we're talking about West Tampa. Did you hear about the Devil Crab? Everybody's like raving about that cigar. I heard a lot of good reviews. You know, Rick Rodriguez put a new stick out there, and it's very inspirational, according to Half Wheel.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah, a lot of people, even I think one of our buddies from the Shottown crew, Vince, was smoking that, I believe. So it has very good reviews, and the people that from Gab.com that I've noticed that they're smoking, they really like it.
There's my wife. She's sitting upstairs. She says it's not raining here.
So it's not raining in Elgin. Okay, not raining in Elgin or Villa Park. I think Mike has issues because it's raining.
Yeah, Mike's like an hour south of me, so
There it is. So Joe says the Devil Crab is absolutely fantastic. See,
yep.
I gotta give it a try.
I've heard good things about it.
I mean, we all smoked. Was it 5-6 episodes ago? The Circle of Life. Actually, probably more than that. But and if that was a good cigar, after coming with the 2 new ones, I'm excited to try it out. The ones I gotta try is the Patina cigars. I heard a lot of good stuff about Patina. I don't know if you ever had any Patina cigars.
I've had a couple.
Really?
Do they carry those at the Ultimate?
No, that's it. 2 weeks ago, I think it was, maybe 3 weeks ago, somebody came in and asked me, and you guys have Patina cigars? And no, we do not. And so I should bring that. I should bring that company, because I think I had the green label one before. It's white and green and a little bit of orange. I can't remember the name, but it was good.
Yeah, that's the one I've had. It's got white with a little green and gold in the label. Yeah.
I think we lost Mike.
Well, he says he's here, but it looks like he can only get into chat.
So he's on the chat. So we're
gonna
continue the show.
To the show, which I don't have a whole lot left to talk about. We might be at the end of the show.
It is the end of the show. Yeah, I had a couple questions. We'll talk about it for a summer episode next time. I'll keep it for the next episode that I wanted to talk about. But Patina Habano, Joe says is a good one. Okay, we'll give it a.
Yeah.
Mike says the Fireboard is messing with his internet. He's a Chicago guy?
Didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, shame on us. Just shame. Interesting. I did not know that. Okay. So definitely I gotta get some patinas then going on. I did not know that.
Yep.
I'm gonna work for it.
Maybe we can
Start
have
in July. Yeah, and maybe I should have an event too at Ultimate
There you go.
with patina. That's a great one.
Yeah, Mike's in lockdown.
Yeah, we kicked him out. We took over. But yeah, this is the end. Another of our 30th episode comes to an end. Beautiful talking to you, Marty and Mike, if you can hear us.
Yeah. Enjoyed. We had a lot of people listening today, so really appreciate everyone tuning in. Had some great conversation, so really enjoy that.
Yeah, to the next episode next Tuesday, same time, same place, and you guys can follow us on Spotify, and also obviously you can see us on YouTube and also Rumble too.
Yep.
Texas Rebel, thank you for joining, man.
Yep. All right, everyone, put some smoke in the air, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night. Thank
Night.
you so much.